Journal number 3, Behavioral Characteristics of Autism Spectrum Disorder. Today I'm going to be focusing on the behavioral characteristics of autism spectrum disorder. According to the Autism Research Institute, the behaviors in autism are self-injury, aggression, property destruction, tantrum behavior, disruptive behavior, and non-compliance. These challenging behaviors happen many of the times because the student is being given instruction or they are being asked to participate in non-preferred activities. Other types of behaviors are focused interest and repetitive behaviors. Repetitive behaviors happen because students have sensory issues, and doing these repetitive behaviors helps them meet their sensory needs. Repetitive and challenging behaviors are one of the most upsetting and visible features of autism, and this can be very stressful to the parents or to the people providing service to the student with ASD. And that is because these behaviors pose a threat to the physical well-being of the student as well as property damage and isolation. Although these behaviors can be difficult to see, there are many helpful interventions that can help the student change these negative behaviors to more positive behaviors. During the time that I have been working with students with autism spectrum disorders and from participating in the modules here in this course, I have been able to observe many helpful interventions that can make a difference in the well-being of students. One of them is the use of visual schedules. Visual schedules can be used to let the student know what's going to be happening during their daily schedule and what activities they're going to be performing during that day. And that gives the student independence because they don't have to go seek an adult to see what's going to happen next. Another great strategy that I have seen is the use of social stories. Students with autism spectrum, they have trouble to participating in new events. And before they go to the new event, social stories helps prepare them what to expect during that time. For example, if the student is going to go to an assembly and they've never been to one before, then a social story will help them understand what happens and how they are supposed to behave during an assembly. And this is a really helpful intervention that I have seen being used with students with ASD. Another great strategy is the use of positive reinforcement. So when a student does something that they don't really like to do, it helps to give them a reinforcement to motivate them to participate in this activity that they don't like. A very simple strategy that can be easily incorporated in the classroom or at home is the use of a visual timer. Many students with autism spectrum disorder, they have trouble transitioning from one activity to the next. A visual timer gives them a warning of how much more time they have in an activity before they move on to the next one. This gives the student enough time to prepare themselves and to be able to prepare themselves to move from one activity to the next one. Teaching students way to communicate their needs, feelings is another way to help reduce challenging behaviors. Many of the times, challenging behaviors happen because the student doesn't know how to communicate something that they want or something that they don't want. So giving them the voice, the ways to communicate by using a picture, gestures, that's really helpful, and that reduces challenging behaviors because it stops the behavior before it happens. There are many other ways that we could help our students with autism spectrum disorder, and I think most